apparently you only have to look at it once, and then it gets like stuck inside your mind or something. And the only way to stop it is to switch.
That's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. There's no way I'd ever switch to Leave. Now.
Don't look! Hey, it's my favorite jacket!
Samsung's foldable strategy is proving to be a bit weird lately. Yes, we saw some major and welcome changes with the Galaxy Z Flip5, but then the Z Fold5 didn't really change much. Watch my After the Buzz for more information on the latter. Thing is, while some leaked images did hint to the tables turning for the company's foldable this year, I think we have enough rumors to prove kind of the opposite. I'm Jaime Rivera with Pocketnow, and after an extensive deep dive of the Galaxy Z Fold6, it's time to talk about the Z Flip6. I think the biggest problem with the Z Flip year over year is that it's priced like a flagship, performs like one, looks crazy sexy, but is then neutered by a pair of cameras that only a mother could love. Obviously, for the Z Flip6 to make any sort of dent this year, that has to be addressed, but rumors aren't painting a pretty picture in everything. When it comes to design, early images of the Flip suggest Samsung isn't making big changes. Like regular phones, there's only so much you can do with clamshell design. The leaked marketing images we saw recently only hint to a phone that's gonna use some sort of outer shell, play with color for the camera rings, and that's about it. But it seems most of the changes are actually on the inside. Recent rumors suggest that Samsung is planning to use a thicker ultra-thin glass on this model. While thicker ultra-thin may sound contradictory, the change would actually be great. By adding an additional 50 microns of thickness to the Flip 6's glass, the on-screen crease could be reduced and the overall durability of the screen could be improved to better withstand everyday folds and usage. What we don't know is if Samsung plans to increase the outer footprint of the phone to achieve this, as reports have the hinge design not changing until 2025. Now, in terms of specs, Samsung tends to be quite predictable when it comes to this launch. For North America, the Flip is most likely going to be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 with a meager 8 gigs of RAM and a starting 256 gigs of storage. We expect the same story internationally, but who knows, as the rumors of the Exynos 2400 that reached the base S24 models abroad also included the Z Flip 6 at the time. Obviously, that was a long time ago, and so far everything is pointing to Snapdragon love for both foldables. Other fan requests like a higher storage tier, a larger battery might also be possible, though we haven't heard much about it, only that charging speeds might not change because of the footprint. Now, according to industry consultant Ross Young, there are new color options coming. We hear of a light blue, which we saw in the leaks, along with a light green, silver, and yellow. These predictions are also supported by Evan Blass, who also mentioned blue, mint, shadow, and yellow. Additionally, exclusive Samsung.com online colors would be white, peach, and crafted black, though that could also change in time. Now, obviously, the most important change that we all want for these phones is the cameras. Neither of Samsung's foldable phones is having a particularly good execution for the price, with previous Flip iterations standing near mid-range territory, which, yes, Motorola doesn't make easier with their competition, but when it comes to the Fold, Honor, and other devices from Vivo do bring some really interesting competition here. Rumors don't necessarily hint to major improvements given how a lot of current limitations have everything to do with how small the camera modules of this phone are, but it seems not everything is lost. Some reports have hinted that while we might not see more cameras on the phone, they might finally get better sensors, or at least one of them. Reports mention that the Flip 6 could get a 50 megapixel primary shooter, which is a significant upgrade from the 12 megapixel we've seen for years. Pixel binning is obviously expected, giving you a 12.5 megapixel shot as a result, but this means better low light performance in addition to the possibility that we might finally get a telephoto through a digital crop sensor. Companies have really gotten good at improving the quality of this crop through a different pipeline, so the possibility would really help. Obviously, sure, we also expect ISP improvements from the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, but aside from the improved color science that we got to see with the Galaxy S24 series, I'm not exactly exactly sure much is to be expected here. I know Samsung does a ton of marketing in the functionality you get in being able to prop your phone on a table and take advantage of the foldable software perks for photography, but if we're real, that's useless if the results aren't great. I'll be honest, I don't even use them. We're definitely hoping there is a change this year, as it is much needed. And that actually makes me drift a little into the software territory, as we're not really hearing much change here, and it is the common thing to expect for Samsung to bring something new, but that hasn't been rumored at all so far. And look at how close we are to the possible launch. Last but not least, there's the topic of the price tag. Many of us were expecting this foldable lineup to get less expensive over time, or at least retain the same price points, but reports say otherwise. Recent information actually suggests that there is a price hike for the Galaxy Z Flip series. It appears that both the 256 and 512 gig models will cost $100 more than their predecessors, with the starting price now at $1,100. Now, in their defense, it wouldn't be the first time that we hear of these flips getting more expensive, only for strategies to change at unpacked, and this is that one phone I don't think that Samsung should make more expensive. If you think of it, you can get so much more of a phone for a lot less money if you simply grab the smaller Galaxy S24 or even the S24 Plus, so this would be like shooting the lineup in the foot. Now, as for the date, let's set a tentative possible launch for July 10th, and possibly in Paris, as we're hearing in certain reports. Samsung has been an Olympic sponsor for ages, so it would make a ton of sense for the company to take advantage of the setting and make a statement with these new phones, but then that's assuming they actually do make a statement with these phones. To conclude, what can I say? It's becoming this common thing for companies to make lukewarm updates year over year, and listen, it makes sense for them to follow on the automaker approach of major changes every, 5 years and minor facelift tweaks every year. The only question left is why bother launching a phone every year if not much is going to change? The Z Flip and Z Fold seem to be especially affected by this approach, which only makes them less attractive when you measure what you pay for what you get. Folding a phone is cool, and in the case of the Fold, there is a ton of added functionality, but in the case of the Flip, not so much. Simply being able to open or close the phone is a neat party trick, but that adds no benefit to simply using a flat slab, in my opinion, and especially as batteries continue to get better. I'm really hoping there are some major changes, as even Galaxy AI features that we saw with the Galaxy S24 series have all been ported to last year's phones. Let me know if you agree with our assessment in the comments down below, and while you're at it, follow us on social media and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. You can also follow me on my personal handles to see me debate minor changes. Like, seriously, it's time for something different, particularly with these foldables. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.